What is up, guys? 70 Savage here. If you are new to the channel, we have been converting this van right here into the zombie apocalypse survival van. It's a 2020 four-wheel drive 170-inch wheelbase Sprinter van. When I first got this van a few months ago, most passerbys would have mistaken me for a kidnapper. But after a complete off-road makeover, now this is what the van looks like. First things first, we have our wheels and tires. The wheels are Black Rhino Arsenals and the tires are BFG KO2s. So these tires and wheels do not normally fit on a Sprinter van. They definitely would not fit on a stock one. I had to basically hollow out this wheel well here and add a TerraWagon low profile fender kit. The overall diameter of the wheels and tires are 32s. More specifically, they're 275, 70 R17s. 32s are the biggest you can put on any Sprinter that has the active cruise control distance assist. Basically, it's like cruise control, but it brakes and accelerates for you. It's kind of like the wish.com version of Tesla Autopilot. The KO2s are an awesome tire choice for van builds because they are a 9-ply tire, which means they can hold a ton of weight. And then above the wheels and tires, we have our TerraWagon fender flares. They're pretty low profile, but I think they add a nice touch. Link to all of these parts in the video description below. Next up, we have ourselves the bumper, which I've gotten a ton of questions about. It is a CA-tuned hammerhead bumper. I absolutely love this bumper because it retains the factory body lines of the Sprinter, but just adds a little bit of beef to it. It's made out of all aluminum. It's pretty thick gauge, which makes it lightweight and strong at the same time. Inside of the bumper, we have our massive worn platinum 12,000 pound winch. It is wireless remote operated, so I don't have to get my precious white shoes muddy when I'm trying to unstuck myself. Plus, I kind of just feel like a wizard sitting in my driver's seat wirelessly controlling my winch. So moving on to the side of the van here, we've added a couple things. First off, this one's small but important. It is a weather seal along the entire top of the factory trim. There is a notorious design flaw in these Sprinter vans. Water basically leaks into this factory trim and over time causes a lot of rust. So we basically just put this little rubber gasket type stuff all along the top of the trim so that will no longer be a problem. Next, above us, we have our traction boards. These are Max Tracks. The reason you have those is basically when you get stuck, you pull them off and put them under your tires to hopefully get unstuck. More importantly, they just make you look badass. Link to those in the description below. On this side of the roof rack, we are eventually going to do a full-length retractable awning, but my living room is already full of van parts and I figure I probably actually need to get some stuff done before I buy anything else. Coming back to the front here, I have my emergency survival lights on the bumper and on the roof rack. I call them my emergency survival lights, not because they're bright, but because if I sold them, I could probably afford like a year's worth of food. They're made by Baja Designs. I have 2 LP9s on the bottom here and then 6 LP6s on top. I actually haven't even turned them on yet, so hopefully they're pretty good. I'm gonna hook those to my house battery bank because they just pull way too much power to be connected to the car itself. Did I spend way too much money on the best looking lights in the market? Yes. Do I regret it? Also yes, but we're past our Amazon return window, so yeah. You already know, link to the lights in the description below. So moving around to the back here, we are basically decked out in Owl Vans parts. On the driver's side, we have the combo ladder tire carrier. I like this for 2 reasons. First of all, I can swap out a tire at any time, even though I've literally never used a spare tire in my life. Second off, it has this ladder which allows you to get to the top, and what I like about it is that it's kind of confusing how to use if you haven't used it before, which will hopefully deter drunk people from climbing onto the top of my van. So coming over to the passenger side here, I have the Owl Vans Sherpa, which is just this aluminum plate with holes in it. You can choose to mount anything that you want to that. In my case, I've mounted 2 1-up bike trays as I use the van for mountain biking a lot. On Evangelina Jolie, we had a hitch bike rack that just plugged into the trailer hitch, and it worked, but I had to have a swing arm on it. So anytime I wanted to use the rear doors, I had to like swing the arm out and then try and navigate around that thing to get into the van. Having stuff mounted to the rear doors makes life so much easier. These Al Vans parts are insanely strong and they integrate really well with the OEM parts on the Sprinter van. Basically, Al Vans leverages the hinges. They have a video where they actually put a car jack directly underneath one of the Al Vans parts and they jack up an entire converted van with just the Al Vans part itself. They're also made out of aluminum. I think each one of these is about 20 to 30 pounds. So I actually did a short interview with John, who owns Al Vans, when I went to go pick up these parts. But he's basically just a super smart dude. He previously had a tech company that sold their products in Apple stores, which makes a lot of sense because I think if there was an Apple store for vans, they would definitely carry Al Vans parts. So going atop the ladder here, we can get a glance at my roof rack, which is also an Al Vans roof rack. This thing is awesome because it literally just bolts to the factory OEM rails on the Sprinter van. You have to drill 0 holes to install this thing, and it is just bomb proof. Unfortunately, and this is a big unfortunately, I don't yet have a roof deck. According to Al Vans, there's actually a shortage on perforated aluminum that they use to make these roof decks, which is the reason why they can't make me one yet. But I'm really looking forward to that day because my plans are putting that roof deck down and then installing walkable solar panels on top of it so that I have a 100% usable roof deck that also generates energy. It's really hard to see on camera, especially with this scene that I have right here, but we are super high off the ground right now, and this would be the perfect vantage point for shooting zombies. By the way, I literally have just been standing on this spare tire while filming this clip, and it is super strong. All right, so let's take a quick look inside of the van here. Oh. Wait, no, don't want to do that yet. Looks like a bomb went off in there. So I am super stoked with how this off-road makeover turned out. If you happen to skip it the last 30 times I mentioned it, there are links to all of these products in the video description below. So I do plan to do more exterior mods as this build progresses, but for now, that's all. With all of these parts on the van, everything that you saw throughout this video, I weighed the van after we installed it, and it came in at an additional 510 pounds. Now, in my opinion, that's pretty good. If you are interested in watching me build out the rest of this van and eventually travel in it, slap that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.